Predator Hunting Grounds. God, I had so much faith in this game. I've been a huge Predator fan since I watched the original back in the 90s on an old VHS that my parents had. Man, I'm old. Anyway, and I've liked every entry in the series. Yes, even the latest one, The Predator. I didn't think it was too bad. But what about this game? Does it hold up after a month? I mean, it did have a very buggy release. I mean, I did enjoy it a little bit, but after its 1.8 update, bringing Dutch in as a purchasable character, unfortunately, and a load of free tapes that you can earn with Arnold's voice on it, is the game fixed? Well, let's find out. Hello there gamers, I'm Madison Inferno and welcome to my channel. Is the game fixed? Well, there still is only currently one game mode, based on the 3 original jungle themed maps. Apart from the Dutch character being put in, I've not found any new fancy skins or armor variations for the Predator, which is very unfortunate. I mean, if you're watching this video, you pretty much already know the score with the Predator game, and there's not much else I can tell you. It's a little bit more stable, but let's start with playing as the Marine. The Marine is okay. The gunplay is fine, and there's still plenty to do in the game. They've tidied up most of the gameplay elements. You can still mud yourself up, you can still equip all your different perks to your loadouts. The Marines themselves I still find to be quite the intense damage dealers, that they were at launch. If all 4 of them was to team up against the Predator, they would absolutely annihilate the Predator, which, I suppose that should be right, but the Predator's far too easily seen. Even with his invisibility cloak on, you can still pick him at the trees. You'd be running around and you could just go, look, there he is, that blur. Should be a lot more difficult to see him. The waiting times for the Marine is still roughly between 30 seconds and could be a couple of minutes. Of course, for the Predator, you're looking between 5 minutes and 20 minutes to get a game as a Predator. Is still pretty long on that mode, and unfortunately once the game modes end, there's no sort of everyone can't continue. You just get spat back out onto the main menu and then you all have to re-queue again. They really do need to implement some kind of continue system so that it regulates who plays as the Predator, and that way it keeps it fair. Everyone gets to play as the Predator and the game just keeps rolling, so you're not constantly queuing for other people. But yeah, basically, I mean, Plays Marine is pretty much the same. I mean, the frame rates are still poor. At times it can make me a little nauseous playing as the Marine, because it's just so, it can get so choppy, especially at release. Dear God! But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if you're a massive FPS player, then it's nothing special. But maybe they're going to work on it a bit more. Who knows? Of course, playing as the Predator is where the real fun is. Yes, like I said, you'd have to endure maybe 5 to 20 minutes of matchmaking to play as him, but using all of his gadgets, his heat vision, trap, shoulder cannon, it just all looks and sounds just like out of the films. I mean, I must commend Ilphonic on that respect. They got the sounds down, they got the soundtrack down. The Pred coring through the trees is pretty cool. Now that actually works. There was a god-awful tree glitch where you just get stuck and end up on the floor, but having the tree controls, so you can only walk forwards. It was pretty confusing, but it works better. I mean, it can still feel a bit clunky, and I do find the Predator control scheme a little clunky overall, but nothing terrible. You know, I've played worse. But hunting the Marines, watching them, you know, stalking them, splitting them up, then ripping them apart is a blast. When you get the good games, if you don't get a bunch of Marines that just hide in a hut and wait for you and just camp and just make the matches boring, or if you have Marines who really know what they're doing and they're just super stealthy, the missions are not quite long enough to take your time as a Predator. There's Predators out there that just steamroll in with the combi stick as the Berserker and just beat the living hell out of the Marines, or they're the ones like more like I am and take your time and like watching, hunting, and the longer you elongate the match, the more experience points you gain. So it benefits everyone for the Marines to do their mission and look for bonus bits lying about, do the extra missions, elongate the fight with a Predator. Because if you just end the match really quickly, you've just waited for ages to get into a game for it to end in 3 minutes, and it's just pointless. You know, just don't do it. You know, the people wait a long time to play as the Predator.
My name is Major Alan
Don't be those guys. Don't be those Marines that hunt the Predator down, because that's just not cool and not fun. Well, in my opinion, anyway.
These tapes are my personal testimony.
So, overall, you know, I wanted to make this video short. I didn't want to go too much into it. I mean, Angry Joe has just released his like 40-minute long review on it, and countless other YouTubers have already, you know, they've done it to death. So I'm not going to repeat other people. I just thought I'd give my honest opinion on after the 1.08 update if the game is fixed, and I have to be completely honest and say not yet. Yes, there are good things in the game, like you can have some cracking matches as both the Marine or the Predator, but overall they are overshadowed big style by the bugs and the glitches that are just still rocking about in the game. It still feels a little bit unbalanced, and it can do with a lot more modes. It really needs a Predator where you can play Predator as a single player and go up against AI Marines, or have special objectives like you've got to hunt a specific animal, or like a really hard buffed up human enemy or something, because the waiting time for the Predator has killed this game. Is killing this game very quickly. I'm not going to say it's killed the game. There are still people who are loving it, there are still people who are playing it religiously, and there are still people who are putting their all into it, because from a Predator fan point of view, it's a really good game, but it just needs more in it. It needs more content. Now, luckily, it only released for £35 here in the UK, which is a sensible price considering it's only the one game mode and 3 maps. So I mean, they didn't lie to you about anything. It does exactly what it says on the tin, which is, you know, that's fine. They didn't lie to us. It's not an aliens colonial marine situation. But it's not fixed yet, so if you're holding out hope for this patch to buy it, I'd say hold on a little longer. Wait and see what they release in June, because apparently they're bringing out content each month throughout the summer, so I just keep holding off and just see if they improve it or not. I will make future videos on the Predator game because I want this game to be good. Well, better, you know. I can have fun on it, but like I said, I cannot in good faith and heart say to people, yeah, buy it, it's amazing, because it's not yet, but it can be, and it has the potential to be. But what did you think of the game? Did you get it at release? Will you get it? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say. You can catch me over on Twitch. I'll put a link in the description box below, and on my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and see ya.